gentlemen, the following presentation is brought to you by Mr. Main Event Brian Waters and the real Dwayne Allen. The Wrestling Realm, the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Off the top rope, I dwell in the wrestling realm. Like Jake stay in the snake pit and Kane be in hell. Like Taker stay in the graveyard and Punk in the shy. Call me Snooker cause I'm super and fly. You can hate all you want, but I'm flossing. The Miz said I'm awesome, and I'm upholding the law just like the big boss man. With Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen, toss you over the border like Hernandez, Mandez, pressing the stands. It's the show for the intelligent wrestling fans. Hitman like Hawk, but I'm not from Calgary. I'm all about the bill, so let that gold dust shower me, empower me like Farouk and the nation. If you don't know your history, then you should change the station. But if you do, you can cruise to YouTube / the wrestling realm. Your lessons are stale. Say the same old lines, man, you destined to fail. Like the Shockmaster or the wrestler Nails. I'm a heartbreak kid, and my bid to be champion is unmatched. Anybody step, I'm face planting them. With Mr. Main Event and the real Dwayne, you the sisters of love, we the powers of pain. You see we coming with a spear while you're monkey flipping. It's Brian Waters, Dwayne Allen, and your boy Trenton. And that's just how the story goes. That's just how the story goes. It's the wrestling realm, baby. The wrestling realm. Mr. Main Event Brian Waters, the real Dwayne Allen. And I'm your boy Trent CMG. You know what it is, baby. Let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mr. Main Event's favorite WrestleMania on this episode of The Wrestling Realm. He is the real Dwayne Allen. I am Mr. Main Event Brian Waters. As promised, we'll give you our favorite WrestleMania. This is my favorite WrestleMania because this is the first one in which my mother and father ordered for me. So I want to say thank you. Now, take a look. You didn't see that coming. Now. Everybody's this WrestleMania didn't deliver. This WrestleMania didn't. Okay, so let me get this straight.
I want to hear this one, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, sit back, buckle your seatbelts, because I have to hear this explanation.
When we did our top WWE champions,
okay,
we did it because ultimately who we felt was the best, and ultimately we chose our favorite stars.
Right.
At WrestleMania, the main thing you want to see is your favorite wrestler go over. Right?
Yeah.
Enough said.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna start it off.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna give you the beat, and then I'm gonna put the button on it.
No. Oh, we can't do the show. We can't do the show. Cut the camera off.
So, we start off Intercontinental Championship match. The Native American Tatanka taking on Shawn Michaels. Excellent match. Good way to start off a WrestleMania. at the time, I hated Shawn Michaels. He walked around. He was the boy toy. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He would never lose. Couldn't do no wrong. Not to mention he had defeated Davey Boy Smith for the title.
You mad?
Hey, this was Shawn Michaels' debut. This is the first WrestleMania where the white belt made his debut.
It's probably the best part about this entire match.
Yeah, okay. This is a good match. Tatanka, in my opinion, should have won. He had beat Shawn Michaels twice on Superstars. He had beat Shawn Michaels in a 6-man tag.
He did win via countout,
but he didn't win the title. Why he didn't get an Intercontinental title run, I don't know. He was USWA champion.
That's a develop. All right.
No,
it might have been a territory back in the day.
It was a territory, but he was a prime player. And he was over. Tatanka was over. You know, he came in. He was undefeated. In this match. He goes as the undefeated Native American.
I'm gonna fight you to the entire number one. I don't care if it's your number one. I'm gonna fight you to the entire card.
I know. Then we had Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers, taking on our family, the Head Shrinkers, Samuel and Fatu. Those who don't know who Fatu is, that is the Uncle Rikishi. That is the Rikishi on Twitter, or Great Samuel on Twitter.
Follow them both, or we have a problem with you.
Exactly. This was a good match. Good tag team match. I mean, the Head Shrinkers were such a powerhouse. First of all, you wasn't hitting these guys in the head.
No, unless you want to break something of your own.
Exactly. You know, and I remember every time somebody would headbutt, it was like, woo! They would just fall out. Mm. You know, so this is where you have a tag team match. It's not for the title, but it obviously puts the winner in line for a title match.
Right.
The Steiner brothers go over because that's what happens in the 90s. Good guys win. Nonetheless, it was a good match.
Good guys, huh?
But, so then we have Doink the Clown taking on Crush. I remember the build-up for this one. Crush was he was on Superstars one day, and Doink had, quote-unquote, broke his arm, and he offered to shake his hand. All of a sudden, Crush sits there, because Doink would do little stuff, shake your hand, you know, hit you in the face.
Doink the Clown stuff.
Yeah. Who was Matt Bourne? Who wrestled Bruno Sammartino Jr.? No, excuse me, David Sammartino at WrestleMania 1. And now we're 8 years later. Didn't know he was that old. Nonetheless.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah. He takes the arm out, and he beats Crush. This leads to the match. Promo before, he said, maybe Crush will be seeing double vision. Double vision? What are you talking about?
That only proves to you that he's seen that way too many times, and he just knows it that like
I could probably watch this WrestleMania and commentate with JR, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Macho Man. I mean, it was one of those tapes. This was the first wrestling tape we had.
Oh boy, I must not have missed that.
Every day after school, come home.
I know how it is with the first wrestling tape.
My sister, we was watching this on DVD, right? Mm-hmm. My sister was like, "Oh, I remember that." Remind you, she's your age.
Right.
And it hasn't watched wrestling all through the years that many times.
Right.
She can still watch it, and pretty much that's how much we put in time in this WrestleMania. Hence why it's my favorite. We did the same with 11, but 11 was just that bad. You know, so.
Yeah, man. No comment. Anyway.
The best thing was Owen Hart and Yokozuna winning the tag titles.
There you go.
So like I said, Doink defeats Crush because, you know, he has another Doink the Clown come in, and then Bobby the Brain. It's an illusion. We have Razor Ramon defeating Bob Backlund. Razor Ramon, this is, I don't understand. He was in the WWE Championship match at the Royal Rumble. Mm-hmm. He was a good heel, I thought. Mm-hmm. You know. Then he goes and now he's fighting Bob Backlund. He got kind of lost when Ric Flair left because you know they was like tag team. And then when you look back now, it was like Scott Hall and Ric Flair was a tag team.
Right.
But they was like buddies.
Right.
You know. And then he just kind of got lost in the shuffle. Nonetheless, it wasn't the greatest match. I mean, I thought it was good for what it was, you know.
See, I didn't understand the format. Like, you know how we can look at stuff now and we can like, okay, we can figure out the format in which a match is set, booked, and won. Like, looking at the early '90s, like this period, I really can't tell. Like, what are they thinking? They just like put stuff on the card just for the sake of putting it on there.
Well,
like I can't figure it out. Like, I'm looking at these matches and I'm like, man, this. Like
you got, like I said, you had a young and upcoming Razor Ramon.
Okay.
And you had an established guy like Bob Backlund who was trying to make a comeback. And it was kind of like Razor was like this, say, no, old timer, it's my time. The time's done. Which ultimately Bob Backlund would turn heel later, which I thought he had one of the better heel runs than he did as that trying to be that good, nice guy that he was back in the 40s and the 50s, you know.
Really, the 40s and the 50s, though, really?
Back in the 70s and the 80s, it wasn't the same.
Wow.
So then we had the first main event. Money Incorporated taking on the Mega Maniacs. For those who don't know, Beefcake and Hogan. Beefcake, during the first couple of episodes of Monday Night Raw, had just not too long ago got out of the horrific car accident where his face was crushed. Money Inc. decided to come pick with him for whatever reason.
I like those guys.
And then they rammed the briefcase into his face.
Those guys are not nice.
And, right. And they were the tag champs. Oh. You know. And I remember DVR said, yeah, go Cleveland. They've been crying for weeks talking about the Mega Maniacs. Maybe one thing is, this is Caesar's Palace, and this is Money Inc.'s backyard. What are the chances of beating a dog in his own backyard? None.
Is Mike's list?
Huh?
Money Inc.?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're the top middle. Or, yeah. So, people like to say this match drag. Shouts out to Cameron G, who's very passionate about this WrestleMania, as I am.
Wow.
Don't say
two of you. There's actually two of you guys.
But he says this was probably his least favorite match. The match dragged. I was mad. Obviously,
because Hogan was in it, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
It did drag on too long. I will say that, you know, Beefcake did a lot of the work. It was a couple of spots there where, boom, it's Beefcake and it's IRS down on the ground, you know. And IRS really didn't get a chance to get at Hogan too much as DiBiase did. But nonetheless, you know, I mean, you know, Hogan had came to obviously rescue his friend. You know, I like the way they came out because they had the smoke and the red and the yellow coming out. And, you know, Hogan, who was quote-unquote in a barbell, had apparently dropped. He was in an accident. Mm-hmm. And then that's when DiBiase was making the reference that probably they paid somebody to kind of make something slip that hurt Hogan. Nonetheless, they don't win this match. So I'm very pissed off because as a child, I'm thinking Hulk Hogan's going to win the tag titles with Beefcake. And it was going to be a good thing.
Don't feel bad because he won it later on with
Yeah. So, nonetheless, this is what I always call the midway point of this WrestleMania. Then we go into Lex Luger, the narcissist Lex Luger, who's this is the first time in wrestling, in WrestleMania, you see women come out in thongs.
Well, it's Vegas, so you know, naturally.
Right.
That's like wearing pants out there.
Yeah. And you know, he's taking on Mr. Perfect. Everybody knows one of my easily top 5 favorite wrestlers.
How'd you feel about that as a kid, watching ladies come out in thongs? As a young Mr. Man today.
I thought it was nice.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but you know, Mr. Perfect gets screwed because it's the backslide. His feet is on the ropes. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is when Lex Luger's a knockout artist. He cuts the promo. Yeah, I'm about to go into this one because I can do that. Because this night was promo central. Almost everybody had a promo before their match. You know, the Steiner brothers had one. Doink the Clown had one. Money Inc. had one. Mr. Perfect. He talks about he's on a roll. He's for a hole-in-one. And then Gene Okerlund, who was so great, says, don't get too far. I want to go to the tables with you. You know, they want to go gamble. So nonetheless, he talks about Luger calls himself a knockout artist. He had knocked out Bret Hart at the WrestleMania brunch, you know, with that devastating forearm because he had the arm plate in it.
Right.
For whatever reason, they decided to go that way. I don't know if it's real or not. So, Luger goes over, you know, and then, which ultimately, after this match, Perfect goes to find Luger in the back, and there's Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels out there trying to get secret. You know, he's sitting up there. Perfect's beating up Luger. Here's Shawn Michaels on. Oh no, you ain't gonna beat him up. And then this starts their rivalry, which will ultimately climax at SummerSlam.